Hey friends, welcome back to Midweek. Today I want to talk about marriage, and let me give you just a little background on myself so you wonder if why I'm talking to you about marriage. My husband and I have been together for 20 years. We've been married for 13 years. We have 2 babies together. I've mentioned that before. We have served in ministry together for decades. We've built businesses together. We've lost businesses together. We've lived in different cities together, and I can honestly say he is my favorite person to be around. We don't have resentment towards each other. We love hanging out with each other. We genuinely belly laugh together. And so I wanted to talk about marriage just for a second, just in case you're someone who's about to get married, or maybe you're in your marriage right now and you're kind of struggling and maybe you feel like that bitterness towards each other. I think this is something that really kind of guards against that. And so our verse today comes out of Romans 12:10, and it says, "Be devoted to one another in love, honor one another above yourselves." And I think we think about that as like our friends and our other relationships, and that verse definitely applies, but I think it so applies to our marriage. Be devoted to one another in love, honor one another above yourselves. And so, I want to talk about gender roles for a second. We definitely have some gender roles in our marriage. I'm a stay-at-home mom. He goes out and makes the money, and so I'm not doing away with that at all. I think that works really well. It works really well for us. But sometimes I feel like people can get stuck in their roles and think in their heads, I'm not doing this because that's your job. I'm not doing this because that's your job. And sometimes I feel like that's how resentment and bitterness can build in a marriage. And so here's a really simple example of how we meet each other right where we're at, and we're devoted to each other, and we honor one another. And so I'm not a morning person. I am tired in the morning. That joke, I'm just a constantly exhausted pigeon. Like, I like to sleep at night and I like to sleep in the morning. I'm always tired, and it's probably because we have little babies and I'm up with our son throughout the night. So something my husband does every morning to honor me, and he's up early too. He's up doing work deals and on the phone, but every morning faithfully before he goes off to work, he gets up and he makes breakfast for our whole family. And it seems like a simple thing, but it's such a blessing, and it's such a heart of honor, because he could say, hey, you're the mom, you're the stay-at-home mom, this is under your duties, you get up and make breakfast every morning. But he knows that it's kind of a harder time for me. I'm dealing with my 4-year-old and the baby, and I'm tired, and I'm not a morning person. And so he says, you know what, I'll get up and make breakfast, babe. And he makes breakfast, he grinds my coffee for me, he knows I love coffee, and it's just something so sweet and so special. And that's such a simple example, but I think it's a way that we can meet each other right where we're at and say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to get stuck in, he one of his roles at home is to take the trash out twice a week or whatever, the big trash cans. And sometimes he's working really late. You know what I do? I take all the trash out. I don't sit at home and go, oh, this is his job. Why isn't he home? Why did he forget about it? Where is he at? This is his responsibility. And I know it sounds simple, but it is that simple in a way. Like, sometimes I think we get stuck in our jobs and we're tired and we feel exhausted, which is fair. But what we do to our partner is we almost go against them in our heads, instead of just saying, hey, you know what? He's really exhausted. Maybe he forgot. He got home late. He's trying to work this other deal with his business. I'll take the trash out. No worries. We meet each other right where we're at. We balance each other out. We say, hey, if I see a weakness here, I'm going to hold you up. If I see a weakness there in you, I'm going to help hold you up. I'm going to lift your arms up. I heard someone say not the other day, it was a few months ago. They communicate, this husband and wife team, they come home and they say, okay, I have 50% today. What do you have? And maybe the spouse says, I have 10%. Okay, how are we going to make that work with our kids? How are we going to meet in the middle? It's not always 50-50. We grew up thinking it's 50-50, babe. You do all the outside work, I'll do all the inside work. You make all the money, I will raise the babies. In the same way, if we ever needed for me to start to work, I would go work. And I mean, obviously, that I'm saying stay-at-home mom is work, but if we needed me to go outside of the house and work, I would definitely do that. I wouldn't be stuck in my role to say, sorry, babe, it's all on you now, and so this whole 50-50 mindset of 50% here, 50% there, I don't feel like that works, and I feel like that builds resentment. And so I think this is such a key that people don't talk about into having a long-lasting, enjoyment-filled marriage. And that's, hey, what do you got today? You only got 10%? Okay, I'm going to sacrifice even though I'm tired, and I'm going to give you a little more room. Maybe you need to go relax for a little bit. I'll take on the rest of the house duties. Maybe you need to step out for a second. You're just overstimulated. Okay, I'll take on this load right now. And I think that builds a strong connection and foundation over the years. Of course, communicate and have fun and laugh with each other, and all of those things are great. But how do you keep someone your best friend? It's meeting them where they're at all the time. It's saying, I'm going to be devoted to you in love, and I'm going to honor you above myself. And this is how it works. You honor each other above yourself. And if you both do that, you have a beautiful marriage. If it's a one-sided thing, then that's a whole nother issue we could talk about. But if you both say, I'm going to put you first, babe. I'm going to put you first, babe. I'm going to honor you, not to a unhealthy degree, but in a godly way, then I think that's how your marriage is sustained, and you have joy, and you go, oh, wow, that meant the world to me. You know, it means the world to me when he cooks breakfast for us. And you could be laughing at that example because it's a simple thing, but to me, it's a big thing, because I don't have to think about breakfast. I have to think about lunch and dinner and snacks for a baby all day, and food for the rest of the family all day. So for me, that's a huge deal, you know? And for him, it's a huge deal when I do other things for him and encourage him. Even when maybe I'm feeling discouraged, sometimes I'll set that aside and I'll encourage him. And so you look at each other, and you don't get on opposite teams, but you remind yourself every day that you're a team. I lost one of my train of thought, but you're not on opposite sides, but you're a team together, and you kind of keep coming back to that and saying, okay, God, I'm going to honor my husband. I'm going to be devoted to him. I'm going to sacrifice for him. Sometimes I'm going to put myself aside, just like I do for my children, and you're going to sustain my marriage, and not only sustain it, but give me a thriving, happy marriage. I hope this made sense to you today. We're on a kind of a different topic about marriage. I'm sure we'll talk about marriage again in the future and other more practical things, but I just wanted to share this thought with you today. I pray you are well. I pray you are encouraged. I pray your family is well, and I will see you in the next one.